Thanks, guys. Today on Facts at Five, we've got a very special, talented performer with us, singer songwriter and Springs resident, Inda Eaton. Inda, thank you for
Hello,
joining us.
Angela. I know you're in the
How are
city
you?
because the people just honk, so I'm good. I can tell
I
you
know.
calling from the city.
I am literally sheltering in place, not in my home in Springs, which I would much prefer to be in. The last time I saw you, literally performing and in person, was at Bay Street at your amazing sold out concert on, I believe it was March 7th, that Saturday night, roughly a week before we got this whole mandate to our lives changed dramatically. Um, you were amazing. And ironically, your new
Oh,
album, Shelter in Place, are you a psychic? What's going on? Talk to me first about how your
well,
life is. Yeah, yeah. I mean, how are you feeling, with all this? It's just so many changes.
I think it's like taking sips from the fire hydrant, trying to get a glass of water from a fire hydrant, really. And yeah, our last show is called Shelter in Place. And what can we say? That was the last public outing. I think we knew things were getting weird, and our bass player Jeff, who works at the hospital, he took me aside. He's the IT guy at the hospital, and Jeff took me aside, and he said, "Inda, we're going to barely get this done. I was just on calls with the CDC, and our lives are going to change." Nancy Atlas had just been back from Ecuador, and she took me aside and she said, "I know you sold out, but they may not come." And so we looked around, and we knew our lives were going to change. And I was just happy if a couple people came that night because I knew things were tanking.
Yeah. Well, you had a great house and a great show. I mean, it still stays with me.
I
Let's talk
thank you.
about shelter.
Well,
Yeah, it was
I thank
awesome.
you, and I thank you on behalf of everybody because that is such a labor of love. The record is a labor of love, and I'm even learning more about it in this time. Uh, and here's the situation: we made this Shelter in Place record literally in this house. I put it together with a credit card. We put it together after my grandmother, who raised me, died. And then a year to the day, my mother died. And in all of this, there we are with this record. So we couldn't really get it out and get it going. So then we
Yeah.
get back on the horse and we say to ourselves and our people, we're going to go raise the roof. We're going to release the free video, which we never did until now. And we're going to go celebrate this album. Well, then the pandemic hit. And so once again, and now it's like global hospice. So for me personally, it was grandma hospice, mama hospice, and now global hospice. And we have this title of an album called Shelter in Place.
Well,
It's
the
a lot to
song "Free,"
unpack.
that's a lot. No, but it's weird how things converge, and we're all obviously processing our new lives, what this means, what it's going to look like going forward. And as an artist and a performer, you reach a lot of people through your music, and so I think it's all the more important, that this comes out now. Talk about the music video. Do we call it even a music video? Our own Mike Lavin from LTV went on the road with you, right, and shot and
Oh,
edited it. It's
it's
beautiful.
that.
And
That's right.
yeah, the song "Free" makes
Oh,
me. I get chills. It's such a great song. We're going to play it, obviously, after this.
thank you.
It's such a treat. Talk about what that experience was like, because didn't you grow up
Well,
in Wyoming and Arizona?
look, there's a lot to unpack, and in fact, so it's nothing short of Wayne's World. I mean, if you really think about it, we got Mike Lavin from LTV, right, the community access cable company.
Right.
He and his girlfriend from Queens, they happen to be going through Wyoming. We're having a mini tour, and we knew we wanted images from Wyoming and we wanted images from the East. And at the time, and I think it's okay, we were thinking there's East and West, and we're all very similar. How can we put together something that uh, brings us together? Because even when we put this together in September, the vitriol and the political energy was crappy then. Uh,
Yeah.
and so there was a lot of that involved. So we go out to Wyoming, and we got the New Yorkers, we got the Wyoming people, and I really thought we were just going to throw down and have these big old verbal fights. I thought we were just going to have bar fights, basically. And what we found out is we did not. and we ended up getting some dialogue and some conversations with some people. We were just really in the flow. So when we got the footage from Wyoming, which, I mean, we're finding a family who lives in a ranch in this video that we became friends with. We're going to a super fun site to have an International Peace Day where they're doing a bunch of cowboys and rednecks are holding hands in a labyrinth for International Peace Day on a former Superfund site. Then we come back to where we live here in the East End, and then we put our people in it, you know, people who work at the fire department, people who work at the hospital. We had no idea really what we were cooking up, but it just felt good.
And now when you watch it, we only have a little bit of time before we get to show the video. How do you feel about the song now in light of everything that's happened, and how it seems like it's united a lot of people, and it's a real anthem in a way to me.
Well, I love that. And I think it is an anthem. We held back on the video because it didn't seem like the right time to bring it out. And now my thinking is, I think the freedom versus geography, or freedom that's implied there with the city and the freedom of the open spaces, now it's beyond that. To me, it's freedom of inner spirit. Now, to me, I think we're getting into kind of tragic optimism, kind of that Alice Walker space where we just say, secret of possessing joy, like it is our inner spirit. And probably, Angela, that's where it was all along. It's just my little mind couldn't take it in. And so I think it's about that kind of unabashed freedom to let some stuff go. And that's really what we're learning. When you spend all this time with yourself and in these spaces as we grieve, I mean, that's just it too, Angela. We're grieving. There's not a person that isn't in hospice right now. We are grieving hardcore. We're sitting around like some dystopian Robinson Crusoe movie. Well, you know, like Wilson, Tom Hanks is talking to the volleyball, and we're really getting to know ourselves, and that's painful. Yeah. And I think what really comes from this is this freedom to say, screw it. There's a lot of stuff that happened before this that I'm not going to do anymore. I'm not going to take anymore, and I want to let this go.
Yeah. Well, the album is called Shelter in Place. It's your 8th album. There are 11 equally, I mean, all the songs I think are amazing. I mean, that's very prejudiced for me, but I really think your music is unique, and it's heartfelt, and it's from the heartland a lot, but it's also worldly. And we're going to put up information about how we can reach you and get the album. And we're going to play Free Now, which is your new video. And the album is called Shelter in Place. Inda Eaton, thank you so much for joining us.
I woke up in the desert, I woke up in the plains, I woke up in the valley of the shadow of death, but I fear no evil, for thou art not with me, and I am free, 'cause I'm free to roam, and I'm free to go, to spread my wings, to be free. Complacent in Tucson where I met you by plane. Was a whirlwind, was a daydream. Sometimes everything ends up in pain, but thou art not with me, and I am free. 'Cause I'm free to roam, free to go, to spread my wings, to be free. And I'm free to roam, and I'm free to go, to spread my wings. desert, I woke up in the plains. I woke up in the valley of the shadow of death, but I fear no evil. When thou art not with me,